The lights will change. The race underway now. Good start by Marcello. Costa slots in behind him as they make the run up towards paddock. There's an effort by Witz on the inside of the big red BMW, but he can't quite find a way through. And Marcello has done exactly what is required. He's hit the front and he charges uphill to Druids for the first time.
Yes, clean start. Everybody gets through Paddock Hill Bend. Doesn't appear to be any contact. Certainly nobody into the gravel, and everybody now streams through the tight first gear. Druids down the hill into Graham Hill Bend.
And Albert Costa is the one doing the chasing. Up into third place is Ricardo Fellas. He's got himself ahead of Constant Lapalainen as they head to Surtees then for the first time. Christian Engelhardt's Porsche making a bit of progress as well then as they round that left-hander, the tightening left-hander of Surtees onto the Grand Prix loop. Now that was Witz. He's fallen back behind Engelhardt.
Yes, he nearly fell behind. Yes, Engelhardt did very well to get ahead of Charles Birch. Birch was competitive coming up into Paddock Hill Bend, trying to get back at Engelhardt as they come into Hawthorne. And the BM might have a little bit more straight line pace, but it's finding a part of the racetrack where you're going to affect that overtake.
So Christian Engelhardt, who dropped the car in the gravel at the end of qualifying yesterday, lost his best time as a result, having to make a bit of progress now as the cars go up through Dingledale, then Sheen Curve, and then it's lapped into that slightly banked corner of Stirling's, which has caught out many in the past. Great little battle going on there. Look, Christian Clean in number 111 McLaren fending off the Jean-Baptiste Simonard BMW. So Raffaele Marcello with a wheel on the dirt heads out of Clark Curve at the end of lap 1. He is trying to build a lead, and he is doing so with Albert Costa chasing. And look at the gap. The top two have pulled over the third place Audi of Matteo Drudi.
Yeah, that's a comfortable advantage over the opening lap. And what is it, just under a second between Costa and Marcello, but then it's 2.1 seconds between first and third place. So the lead two cars stretching their advantage, and most likely will continue to do so because Matteo Drudi is going to be involved in the battle with Lapalainen, and in the second of the Ferraris, Engelhardt in the Porsche, and that's running out the top six in the BMW.
Rattling it up onto the curve, Charles Witz. He in turn is under pressure from Jordan Pepper, who is 7th, 8th Lucas Leggeret, 9th Fred Verviche, and Alex Arca has dropped back into 10th place, but he's still leading silver, and the leading gold is Aurelian Panis from his class pole position. Panis running in 11th place. Right, lead gap at the end of that opening lap was 7/10 of a second, and in the first sector of this lap it has extended just a little bit more because Marcello is faster there by another 10th. And so the field streams through Hawthorne, short straight towards Westfield, turn right, road drops down, and then you climb up through Dingledale. But in this sector, I would offer you that Costa is coming back at the leader.
Absolutely, I don't know where that time was lost. Into Westfield, down Dingledale, up into Sheen Curve, but clearly the gap was, looked to me, it was 0.8 of a second at the beginning, and almost overrunning. As the same, we're watching the second place Ferrari, or the Ferrari in fourth place, the second of the two Ferraris, but the gap between first and second, 0.7 of a second, so it's a tenth of a second gain to Alberto Costa, but Marcello probably not going to be too phased by that.
Well, Costa has done the fastest lap of the race, but then as they come out of Druids, then so the margin stretches. It's a bit elasticated at the moment as you see this huge field streaming through. Now, let's just look behind the leaders. Third, Matteo Drudi, Constant Lapalainen's Ferrari behind the Audi. Fourth, fifth Porsche, Christian Engelhardt. Sixth, BMW Weir. Seventh, Lamborghini Pepper. Eighth, Audi Leggeret. Ninth, Audi Verviche. They're together. 10th, Audi Alex Arca. So it is a good battle between the two teammates, driving numbers 11 and 12 right now from the Contiu stable, the Belgian team, where you've got Lucas Leggeret, number 11, just ahead of number 12, Fred Verviche. That is the Attento car, 10th, the leading silver of Alex Arca. Everybody rattling it up onto the curb. The blue Mercedes AMG that you saw in the body of the pack there is second in silver. Jordan Lamb at the wheel of it.
Just got a glimpse of Valentino Rossi coming through Hawthorne's currently in 20th position, and he's sort of caught between, but then no man's land. He can't find a way around the car directly ahead of him, and he's having to be defensive of those that are following behind, and that's Kellen Williams in a sister, part of the same team, the BMW M4 GT3.
So in gold, it is Aurelian Panis, Olivier Panis' son, who shares with former Lamborghini gun Alberto Di Poco. That car is in 11th place, leading its class. There it is, going into Paddock Hill Bend. Second in gold, right up behind him is Simon Gachet. Very wide ahead, Alex Arca rattling it over the curve. Now, there are track limit warnings coming. The warnings are shown on the timing screen, so the teams know how how many their car, how many the opposition's cars have been warned about. And Graham Hill Bend, that's another key area where we were having lap times cancelled yesterday in qualifying. 4 people violating the track limit rule.
Yeah, it's turn 3 right now. Warnings, and it's easy on the exit to let the car, to free the car up, then and run wide, and then you get 2 wheels off onto that runoff area, and that seems to drag the other 2 wheels along with it, and all of a sudden 4 wheels are on the racetrack, and then that starts the procedure of having penalties applied.
Now the lead gap was 1.9 seconds last time around. Raffaele Marciello has checked out, hasn't he? Because now he is very definitely building that gap. He has done absolute bests on this lap in the first 2 sectors, and he knows exactly what he's got to do because he is quicker than his co-driver Timo Boguslavski. He has got to try and build a lead for Boguslavski to preserve in that second stint. The bigger the gap, the better their chance of hanging on to a win.
Yes, I mean, it's going to be a difficult task for Timo Boguslavski, who has, in his qualifying for race 2, was significantly, there is Timo Boguslavski right now, significantly slower than Raffaele Marciello, so he knows that if he gets into that Mercedes as the lead car at the pit stop, he has then got to go out and stand up and deliver for the team.
So Marciello leading now by 2.2 seconds. He is getting away from Costa. Third, Drudi. Fourth, Lapalainen. And that great shot from the drone of the cars going through Surtees. You climb, you turn, and then you think that the road is flat. Well, it's not. You're still climbing. Then there's the brow of the hill. You drop down under the vehicle bridge, and then the road climbs again up towards Hawthorns. And it's quite a climb. You're turning right and climbing at the same time through the next right-hander, short straight towards Westfield. That's the fight for fifth. Christian Engelhardt's Porsche, reigning Sprint Cup champion Charles, sixth in the best of the BMWs.
Yeah, Charles Fitz will be ruining the fact that at one point he was challenging to get up at the 3rd, maybe 4th place into Panicle Bend. Somehow or other, Christian Engelhardt saw an opportunity, put the Porsche on the motor tarmac that Page wanted the BMW to be on, and took the place away. Charles Fitz has not been able to find a way to overtake and replace that Porsche in the current 5th position.
Pre-practice yesterday morning was very Audi dominated. Right now it is Mercedes AMG, Ferrari, Audi, Ferrari, Porsche, BMW, Lamborghini, Audi in the top 10. There's a real spread as you look there within gold at Aurelien Panis being chased by Simon Gachet for Santilok, chasing the Boutsen VDS car. Joe Boutsen's team and the Van der Straten name linking up, and that VDS livery adorning the Boutsen Audis this year. Great gold cup battle then, half a second between these two.
Yes, they're running just outside the top 10. It doesn't really matter. Their battle is for their own class, and that's their focus. If they happen to have an opportunity, and maybe happen more so in race 2, because in qualifying for race 2, Audis came to the fore, and actually their qualifying times were significantly quicker for race 2 than we're seeing here for race 1.
So race leaders currently were at lap 6, and we have not yet had the first 10 minutes elapse as the cars dive down towards Hawthorns. Riding on board there with Simon Gachet. Turn right in the Santilok Audi, ride the curve along Derek Minter straight now. Let's set the car up for Westfield, turn in, run the curve on the outside, the road drops down, and then climb up through Dingledale again.
Yeah, the climb up into Sheen curve, you don't really see it until you arrive upon it. So again, you have to turn the car before you can see your apex, and of course you're familiar with the Grand Prix circuit of France. Actually, 1 or 2 are visitors for the first time.
Jordan Love, who is second in silver, 13th overall, is the first driver being given a driving standards flag for disrespecting track limits. So there have been warnings, but now he is the first one to be shown a driving standards flag.
And again, it's down on the exit of Graham Hill Bend. So you just run wide, and then once you get wide, you're sucked into the whole car, running too far off onto the runoff area. But down, look at Simon Gachet all over the back of Aurelien Panis, and this battle is an opportunity. Gachet can put himself. It used to be a great place to overtake into Surtees, but because of the performance of the cars, the aerodynamic qualities and the braking, now it's almost impossible to get alongside, let alone throw it up and take the position away.
We've had a switch for 15th between the McLarens. They're run by rival teams, but the Garage 59 car of Benjamin Goethe is ahead of the JP Motorsport entry of Christian Kleed. And there, Simon Gachet then turns through Westfield. 12th place he is. race leader, coming then into Clark Curve. Now let's just have a look at Raffaele Marciello as he heads up towards Paddock Hill Bend and see what speed he is doing. We were being told yesterday that cars could nudge up to 240 kilometres an hour. Well, depending on where you start to brake, it is Marciello who has been clocked at 180, give or take, through Paddock Hill Bend. Jordan Love, 177, matched by Owen Zanotti, Christian Engelhardt, Simon Gachet on 176, heading through Paddock, so brake, turn right and go through the corner, but Marciello with that clear road ahead of him now, brave through Paddock and 3.5 seconds to the good.
Yeah, and having that, it's a small advantage, 2 kilometres per hour, but it then helps all the way then up the hill, the incline up into Druid. So back onto this battle with Gachet, and again he captures the tail of the car directly ahead of him, but he can't find a way around to get back to the entry into Surtees, and still nothing in these 3 Audis, all very similar in terms of overall performance, balance of performance, likewise equal amongst the 3 Audis in this battle for 9th, 10th and 11th, yes.
Yeah, and of course when you get to the second stints, change drivers, some will be quicker than the current driver, others not as quick, so the dynamic of the race changes. For example, one of the newcomers this year is the reigning GT4 European champion Owen Bastar. Well, he will hand that car over to the very quick Patrick Niederhauser, so that's one to keep an eye to. Fastest car through Dingle Dell, Charles Weird BMW, 211 kilometres an hour, and Weird's currently riding with him is in 6th spot, coming down now into Clark Curve, turn right, road falls away, back on the power, but he's not getting closer to the Porsche, is he?
No, I mean the BMW we know has got very good straight line performance, which is just when they were that 1 kilometre per hour quicker through Dingle Dell, but the straight here, France had just not sufficiently long to allow a car that has got a straight line speed advantage to really stretch its legs and begin to make a move. So Charles Weird stuck currently in 6th position, and only when they make their mandatory pit stops is there any possibility in reality of that position being improved upon.
Valentino Rossi currently is 20th. Leonardo Moncini's Honda is the car that he's chasing. Moncini, who is new to the championship, having come out of the Italian GT series. It's good to have the Hondas on the grid, and Nova Race running 2 of these, so a team new to the championship. So there is the Honda, there is Valentino Rossi's BMW, 19th and 20th, these 2. It is a silver ahead of a Pro, and the margin is 0.3 of a second.
So just had a glimpse of the onboard from Valentino Rossi. I'm always interested to see the use of the hands on the wheel. Some drivers are very calm almost, and some are very fussy and very busy. Valentino, accustomed to handlebars more than a steering wheel, and making that adjustment, and make no mistake, it's a major adjustment from coming from a MotoGP motorcycle to a GT3 race car.
The race leader has gone across the line, Raffaele Marciello, to put 9 laps in the book at Stirling's. Valentino Rossi, who never raced here on 2 wheels, he only really knows it as a car racing circuit, comes under the bridge down towards Clearways. The lead gap is 4.5 seconds, although Albert Costa did do a personal best lap last time. He will hand the car over to Thierry Vermeulen. As you look there, Christian Klein going through, being chased by Jean-Baptiste Simonal, then Sean Huntsman's Ferrari. Next up, the Honda of Leonardo Moncini, Valentino Rossi at the back of this group.
I mean, really what we're seeing throughout the field is a lot of close racing, but nothing that challenges. Having said that, Valentino thought he might have an opportunity to put the nose of the BMW up the inside of the Honda in Druids, but it was nowhere near making it a realistic overtake, and as a consequence has maybe fallen back fractionally as our race leader continues on just 4.5 seconds advantage to the ever-charging Alberto Costa and the Ferrari. In fact, the last best lap, whatever Costa did, it was still bettered by Raffaele Marciello by 0.3 of a second, and that's frustrating because you've done your best lap and you know it's still not as quick as the leading car.
So Marciello still builds this lead for Timo Boguslavski as he comes up to the line. You can see all the Valentino Rossi hats and clothing in the crowd, and their man is still battling his way up the order. But Rossi 20th, Marciello leading. Now we wait for Costa to